Welcome to the session. Today I am going to tell you about the continuation of animal kingdom under the first PUC syllabus. In the previous class, I dealt the phylum Porifera. Now today, let us take up the second phylum, which is advanced than that of the Porifera, by name Coelenterata, or even called Cnidaria. Why it is called Coelenterata? Because it is having a cavity, central cavity, by name gastrovascular cavity. So this gastrovascular cavity can be comparable to that of an intestine. Enteron means intestine, coelo means cavity. As the body encloses a cavity by name gastrovascular cavity, it is called Coelenterata. And recently it is even named as what? Cnidaria. Cnidaria in the sense the coelentrates possess a specialized cell by name cnidoblast or nematocysts or stinging cells, which act as the organ of offense and defense. Because of the presence of these cnidoblasts, which are the specialized cells confined only to coelenterata, they are even called as cnidarians. Now, let us analyze or let us study the salient features of this phylum. Remember, all the members or all animals of the coelentrates are aquatic. Majority of them are marine forms, and a few like Hydra is a freshwater form. Then they may be what? Sessile. Sessile in the sense nothing but sedentary. Sedentary means a common term, fixed form. That means they may be either sessile or fixed form, as like the dog, the Lobelia, or free living form, as like the dog in Aurelia or jellyfish. So that means all are aquatic. Majority of them are marine with few exceptions, like Hydra, which is a freshwater form, and most of them are sessile or fixed form like that of the Lobelia, and the others are free forms as like that of the Aurelia. The next one is, of course, they are multicellular animals with tissue grade of organization. So I told you in one of my previous classes that multicellular means the body composed of many cells. Whenever there are many cells, you can expect what? A tissue. Whenever there are many tissues, we can expect what? Organs. Leading to what? Organ system like that. But here, though there are many cells, they aggregate to form what? Some tissues. But the tissues are not organized to form organs. Hence, they are with tissue grade of organization, though multicellular. Next is, they possess a specialized type of cells or unique cells which are confined only to coelentrates by name cnidoblasts or nematocysts or stinging cells. So these cells provide protection to the animal and also helpful in capturing the prey. Hence they act as organ, not organ, they are the cells but act as an organ of offense and defense. Then the body encloses a cavity called what? Gastrovascular cavity. So with opens to outside through only one opening by name what? Mouth. So through that mouth only there is entry and exit. No other opening. The next is digestion. Digestion, simply we can define simplification of the food or breakdown of the complex food molecules into simpler ones for absorption by the action of enzymes. The digestion includes partly extracellular and partly intracellular. In the last class itself I told you what is an intracellular and extracellular digestion. Intracellular digestion is the one which occurs inside the cell or within the cell by forming what? Food vacuoles. Whereas extracellular digestion occurs in the lumen of alimentary canal. Lumen means cavity. That is extracellular. The digestion which occurs in the gastrovascular cavity of coelentrates is what? Extracellular. This gastrovascular cavity is lined by cells. The digestion which occurs inside these cells can be referred as intracellular. Thereby, it is partly extracellular and partly intracellular. Whereas in peripherance, it was purely what? Intracellular. But here, partly extra and partly intracellular means there is one step towards what? Evolution. The next is, here, many of the forams are having external skeleton. That skeleton can be called as what? Corals. Corals forum, the external skeleton. They are very hard, and the hardness is due to the deposition of calcium carbonate. And then the life cycle of the coelentrates possess two forums. One is the sexual forum by name Medusa and the asexual forum by name the polyp. The polyp asexually produce the Medusa. Medusa sexually produce what? The polyp. That means to say there is an alternation of generation with asexual and sexual reproduction. Such an alternation of generation where the asexual generation alternates with sexual generation can be even referred as what? Metagenesis. Metagenesis is nothing but alternation of generation. The common examples for the coelentrates are the Lobelia, that is a marine colonial forum. Hydra is the freshwater forum. And then Adamsia means it is nothing but a sea anemone found in the marine water body. The next, among corals, there is one coral by name, as per your syllabus, Meandrina, brain coral. Why it is called as a brain coral? Because in the brain, the major part is said to be the cerebrum. The cerebrum is get folded and is found in the brain box. As this coral appears like that of the cerebrum of the brain, it is called as what? Brain coral. And the one which is a very free living form by name what? Aurelia. The common name is jellyfish. So these are all the salient features or important or characteristic features of what? The phylum Coelenterata, which is mainly or commonly exemplified by the hydra and lobelia. Remember. Now, the next one is phylum Ctenophora. This is the third phylum. First was Porifera, second was Coelenterata, and the third one is Ctenophora. So, Ctenophora is even called as what? Cnidarians. Why the name Ctenophora is given? Ctenophora is given because these ctenophores possess the specialized structures by name comb plates. Cteno means comb. The phora means bear. That means the animals which bear the comb plates can be referred as ctenophores. And why they are called Cnidarians? Because of the absence of cnidoblast. So the cnidoblast is what? A stinging cell, which is a characteristic feature of the phylum Coelenterata. But here, such cnidoblasts or nematocysts or stinging cells are totally absent. Because of this, they are even called as what? Cnidarians. Now, what are the silent features? Remember, all are exclusively marine form. That means all the members of this phylum are found only in the marine water body, not found in any other habitats. So they are commonly called as what? Sea walnuts or comb jellies because of the presence of what? The comb plates. The next is they are diploblastic forms. What do you mean by diploblastic forms? Presence of two layers in the body wall, outer ectoderm and inner endoderm. Such a condition can be referred as diploblastic. And then they are acoelomates. Why they are acoelomates? Because of the absence of coelom. What do you mean by a coelom? Coelom is a body cavity present between body wall and gut or elementary canal. This is supposed to be the body wall. This is gut, and now this is what? Coelom. If at all coelom is absent, it is acoelomate. If at all present, coelomate. Then they are multicellular animals as like that of coelenterate with tissue level of organization or tissue grade of organization. The next is body is externally covered by the 8 rows of what? Ciliated comb plates like this. So these are the ciliated comb plates. There are 8, and then they are placed at equidistant. Because of the presence of the cilia on them, they help in what? The locomotion. The beating action of the cilia in water body create water current, and by which the animal can move. Then the digestion as like in the coelentrates, partly extracellular and partly intracellular. Remember, this phylum includes only a very few members. Formerly, Ctenophora was placed as a class, one of the class under the Coelenterata. But now, a separate phylum is created to it and placed under the phylum the Ctenophora. Now, some of them are bioluminescents. What do you mean by bioluminescence? Bioluminescence in the sense they have the ability to produce light. So that is the characteristic feature of this one. And this symbol indicates they are bisexual forms and no almost asexual reproduction. They reproduce only by the sexual method. And then fertilization is what? External. What do you mean by external fertilization? If at all the egg and the sperm fuse with each other outside the body of an individual in water media, then only it is called as what? External fertilization. Remember, the fertilization, if at all occurs inside the body, that is in the seminal fluid or in the body fluid, then it is internal fertilization. If at all external fertilization occurs, that is outside the body, it should require what? The aquatic media. So, or fluid media. For what? For fusion, because that media provides the sperm to move and fuse with the egg. So thereby the fertilization is external and development is what? Indirect. In the last class itself I explained you what is indirect development. Indirect development is the one which involves what? A larva in its life cycle. What is larva? Larva is an immature young one of an adult. It undergoes metamorphosis and ultimately becomes what? An adult. That is the development. And the larva is called seed pit larva. This is the larva you come across in the ctenophores. The two very common examples for this are Neurobrachia and Ctenoplana. These are the examples for this phylum, Ctenophora, that marks the end of the third phylum by name Ctenophora or Cnidarians. Now, let us pass on to the fourth phylum, that is the Platyelements. What do you mean by Platyelement? The meaning lies in the terminology itself. Platy means what? Flat. Element means worms. That means to say they are the flattened worms. Remember, there are said to be two types of the flattening of the body. One is dorso-ventrally flattened and another is laterally flattened. For any individual, there is one dorsal and one ventral surface with two lateral surfaces. For example, in case of us, so this back region is the dorsal surface and this is ventral, and these two are the lateral surfaces. If at all the dorsal and ventral surfaces are flattened, then it is called dorso-ventrally flattened body. Our body is what? Dorso-ventrally flattened. If we take the cat or a dog or a tiger like that, the body is what? Laterally flattened. Whereas tortoise, crocodile and even these platyelements are what? Dorso-ventrally flattened columns. That means the dorsal and ventral surfaces are get flattened. That is the one. So here the body is dorso-ventrally flattened. As the body is flattened, they are called platyelements. Now let us consider the key features or salient features like that or characteristic features. One, they may be either free-living forms. For example, planaria. Planaria is a free-living form found in freshwater body. That is the planaria. It is almost said to be like this. This is found in the freshwater media and it is a free-living form. And most of them are what? Parasites. For example, the day one. The day one said to be the liver flu. Then schistosoma. These are all what? Parasitic forms. Most of them are parasites. Only a few, like the top planaria, is what? A free form. I told you in the beginning itself, here the body of the animal is dorsoventrally flattened. That means the dorsal surface and the ventral surface are what? Get flattened. Hence the body, even if you take the tapeworm like this, the body is what? It is also dorsoventrally flattened like this. And even if you take the liver fluke like this, here also the body is what? Dorsoventrally flattened. That is the one. Bilateral symmetry. Bilateral symmetry in the sense, if at all the body is cut along this antero-posterior axis, you are going to get two equal arms, as like the top of our body. If at all our body is cut along this plane, we are going to get two equal arms. That is the bilateral symmetry. And triploblastic. What do you mean by triploblastics? Triploblastics in the sense, the body wall composed of three layers: outer ectoderm, middle mesoderm, and inner endoderm. We are also triploblastics, remember. From platyhelminths onwards, all are what? They triploblastic forms with no exception. Then acoelomates. That means here also the coelom is absent. Then with organ level of organization, that means body is multicellular. Cells organized to form tissues. Tissues organized to form what? Organs. But organs not organized to form organ system. Hence, they are at the level of what? Organ grade of organization. Then, majority of the parasites, say for example the liver fluke and even the tapeworm, possess what? Hooks and the suckers. Hooks are helpful in attachment and the suckers are helpful in sucking its nutrients from the body of host. I hope you know the meaning of a parasite. What do you mean by a parasite? Parasite is the one which depends upon the other for its survival. So on the other in the sense nothing but host. For on the host it depends. Either both for food and shelter or at least for food. Without host the parasite cannot survive. That is the one. So the hooks and the suckers are present in the parasites. The next is, if for example the tapeworm, where tapeworm lives? So the tapeworm technically called as Taenia solium. This is the zoological or the scientific name of the tapeworm. The tapeworm lives in small intestine of man. In the small intestine of man it lives, and then it has no digestive system. It simply absorbs the nutrients from the intestinal part of the host through what? Body surface. In the intestine, in the small intestine, whether food is completely digested or not, completely digested. That means to say the food become already what? The simplified form which is ready for absorption. That simplified, completely digested food which is ready for absorption is absorbed by the tapeworm through what? The body surface. The intermediate host for the transmission of the tapeworm from one person to another is the pig. Particularly who is in the habit of consuming the pork. If at all the pork is not properly cooked and consumed naturally, the individual may get infected by what? The bladder worm of the tapeworm. Bladder worm is nothing but one of the larval stage of the tapeworm, and later on that bladder worm becomes adult in the host body and continues its life cycle. So remember, the each proglotid of the tapeworm, this is one, each one is nothing but the proglotid. Proglotid in the cells, false segment. It is not a true segment. Proglotid. So these proglottids are of three types. In the beginning, it is immature proglottid. That means the proglottids with no sex organs. And the next part is the mature proglottid. The part with what? The sex organs. Remember, tapeworm is a bisexual param. Both sex organs are present. Then that proglottid is called mature proglottid. And the third region is supposed to be the gravid proglottid or ripened proglottid. So this contains what? Fertilized eggs. These proglottids, which are gravid proglottids, cut off and ultimately passed out through the fecal matter of the host. Whenever that feces or the fecal matter is swallowed or eaten by the pig, then naturally the fertilized eggs of the tapeworm enter into the pig, where it develops into the larva and ultimately pass on to the another individual whenever he consumes the measly pork. Measly pork in the sense the pork containing the larval stages or the infective stages of what? The tapeworm. The next is, they possess the specialized cells by name what? Solenocytes or flame cells. So these solenocytes or flame cells are helpful in osmoregulation and also help in excretion. Remember, the excretory cells or the excretory organs are those which maintain the water balance in the body. For example, in our body, which is an osmoregulator, it is nothing but the kidney. Which is the excretory organ? Nothing but the kidney. Kidney is the one which maintains what? The water content in the body. Hence, any excretory organ or excretory cell can be considered as what? An osmoregulator. That means to say, they are helpful in excretion. So, solenocytes or flame cells act as that is osmoregulators, that is also help in excretion. And then they are all bisexual params. Now the reproduction mainly by what? Sexual method. And the fertilization occurs inside the body, hence it is internal fertilization. Whereas the development is what? Indirect. Particularly in the parasite, there are different stages of the larva. So it includes several larval stages. For example, in the liver fruit, there are several stages of the larvae. They are Miracidium larvae, then Rabia larva, Sporocyst larva, Cercaria larva, and then Metacercaria larva like this. It includes almost the stages of the larvae before it becomes what? The adult. Hence, the egg laying capacity of the params is quite higher because there are many risks in the completion of their life cycle. So then, in some the fatty elements like that of the planaria, there is high power of what? Regeneration. Suppose it is the body of the planaria like this, and if at all it is cut into three parts, each part has an ability to grow into a new individual. So what is regeneration? It is nothing but regrowing of the lost parts or injured parts. However, the regeneration here in case of man is confined only for what? for healing up of wound and the rejoining of the broken the bones like that. But here the regeneration power is quite higher. So these are the key features or the salient features or characteristic features, and the examples are planaria, which is a free living form, and then the tapeworm and the liver fluke. Liver fluke found in the bile duct of sheep, and it causes a disease called what? Liver rot. Tapeworm lives where? It is an endoparasite found in the small intestine of man, causing a disease by name Pineasis. These are the three common examples for platyhelminths. That's all about the fourth phylum by name the platyhelminths. In the next class, I will take up the Aschelminths. So thank you, Kunal.